And looks like it's going to be Jangbi coming out for Khan against Action from KT, another PBZ. The map is Jade. Interesting that KT sent out a Zerg on Jade. Oh, looks like I have an ad. Sorry about that. Alright. Oh, I also forgot to scale my XSplit 1 second. Sorry about that. I actually have to use like a different preview window size compared to like for the VODs compared to when I play ladder games. Because like when I do ladder games, I make it really small, but then it's like harder to adjust things. Anyway. Hi, that is an excellent question. There were some random videos there. I assume, isn't it just like the related videos? But I don't know how that's related to SPL though. I really want to scroll down on this page and see like what's related to this VOD. There was some pretty random stuff I remember a few weeks ago. Like we kept seeing random things. I don't know. I guess we can have a look after this VOD and see what's related to Jangbi versus Action. I'm sure considering it says like Action here, it could be some interesting things. Anyway, looks like we are going to have Jangbi as the teal Protoss in the top right, which would make Action the white Zerg in the bottom right. Some people are asking if I'm ever gonna do a duel with Nuke the Stars. I would love to. We did approach him actually for ISL 3 casting. Unfortunately, he is neither interested in foreign Brood War nor in dual casts. I think he actually explicitly says that on his YouTube page. If you go to his YouTube page and you read like the description, he says like he doesn't like doing dual casts or something. So I don't know. If you guys can convince him, then I would love to. Anyway, 200. What is that? Is there like some special KT event going on? Did Flash like turn 200 years old or something? Anyway, it's like a pylon at the front for Jangbi. You know, Jade, I think I talked about this before, but the Wallens, like that top right Wallen is going to be so easy. He can just put the Forge at the bottom. It'll be tight against the bottom, and then put the gateway on top, and it's like a perfect Wallen. It's like so much harder to do that in the top left and the bottom right. I still can't figure out a good Wallen. But anyway, apparently it's their 200th win. Okay, that's like assuming they'll win though, which is not guaranteed against Khan. Although Khan did lose to who did they lose to? Stars. They lost to Stars last week, 3-2, which is quite sad. I think KT beat Stars in the same week, didn't they? I actually have the Team Liquid article up here. Let me actually have a look. Oh, they beat Ace and oh no, they just beat Ace last week. Okay. KT has like been beating everybody recently. So it looks like wow, I was just completely not paying attention to the VOD. I was too busy looking at rankings and stuff. We have a cannon before expansion. Presumably this was an overpool from Action to warrant such a... Actually, maybe it was a 9 pool to warrant such a response. No, I think that was just an overpool. Interesting that Jangbi went cannon first. I guess it's because they're close positions. If you're cross positions on a 4-player map against an overpool, you can Nexus first. You just have to like stop probes a little bit earlier. But cannon first is fine. He's also only made 1 cannon, so it's nothing serious. Gonna block that with 2 probes and see how nicely that wall looks. It's so easy to do. Nice and tight. And yeah, very good. So Action has actually taken his closer third base here. rather than taking another natural. Interesting. You know, it's funny. A lot of Zerg players have told me that this map is not very good for Zerg. I remember actually when I did a dual cast with Lokim, way back when, who's a very good Zerg. Something like was he like B plus, A minus on IC Cup? Yeah, he was saying how this is just not a very good map for Zerg. Although I think we were specifically talking about ZBT. But I think in general it's not very good for Zergs either. We do see a lot more PBTs on this map than Zergs play. Although I believe actually the last time I watched a PVZ or a ZVP from Action was on this map. I don't remember who he played against, but like I specifically remember the game because in the beginning of the game he did like this really amazing Zergling micro against a Zealot, where he was like pulling back the individual lings after 2 hits and stuff, and he killed the Zealot without losing a ling. And I thought that was beautiful, and then he proceeded to get completely demolished in the game, but it was still quite cool to see. Anyway, a very quick evolution chamber in the main base from Action. That is weird. Is that going to be for like +1 melee or +1 carapace? Is he going to get like a bunch of speedlings or something with an upgrade? Or is... I don't know. That feels like an SE2 build, honestly. This kind of mass lings with +1. That's like, I think that's actually a legitimate SE2 build. So I don't know. I'm a little confused here. What is this for? What are you gonna make? What is that? A Hydra Den. Okay, it could just be +1 attack for Hydras. It's not bad. This is interesting. Okay. I mean, fast upgrades is fine. You know, it's actually could be a really good idea because getting an evolution chamber is not expensive. It's 75 minerals, and +1 attack I believe is just 100, which is not overly expensive. So perhaps getting a fast +1 upgrade could be quite nice. Anyway, Probe Guy sees the 3rd base. Actually, yeah, it's gotta be +1 attack for Hydras. I don't think it makes as much sense for lings. But if he was doing this style though, I think it might have been better to take another natural as his 3rd. Because if he's going to be massing units anyway, it would be quite safe. I mean, like, usually you only take your close 3rd if you're going for some kind of, like, fast muta build, or even some kind of drop, where you kind of want... You want your bases to be more easily defended. You don't want to have to defend, like, a super far away 3rd base. I mean, SimCity makes that less of an issue, but still, usually when you take a close 3rd, it means you're going for something like mutas. So I'm a little bit interested by this Hydra play. Looks like he's actually gonna be a little bit aggressive here with these Hydras. Jangbi's gonna have to make a couple extra cannons here. Jangbi recently, by the way, got Hydra busted by Calm. Actually, did he play in the match against Stars? Looks like he did not play in the match against Stars. So I guess the last time he played was getting Hydra busted by Calm on Electric Circuit, which is quite funny. Anyway, looks like Hydra's going to start wailing away at this wall. If he loses that +1, that'll actually be quite unfortunate. Looks like the Hydra's bugged out a bit once the cannon's attacked. That is just an AI bug there. The Hydra's, they're on hold position, but if like a Hydra gets shot by a cannon there, like the AI will try to have them attack the cannon even though it's out of range or something, and they just like stop shooting completely. And it looks like the Forge has stopped finishing. I don't know if that's because the upgrade finished or he just cancelled it preemptively. The Forge is not quite dead yet, so I don't know if he just gave up on it early. I really wish they would click one of the Zealots so I could actually see if it finished or not. Looks like the Forge is going to go down here. There is a Reaver at the front. Looks like Jangbi was going for, say, a Reaver. Sorry, Robotics at the front, not a Reaver. If there was a Reaver there, that'd be awesome for Jangbi, but unfortunately it's not an... Oh my god, Action is going for a proxy hatchery. Now the close 3rd actually makes a lot more sense. The reason he needs his bases to be his own bases to be more defended is he's going for some crazy sunken lurker spore contained perhaps. What? This is crazy. And oh, actually wait. Jangbi actually got an archive, so maybe it wasn't for fast Reavers. It wasn't for Sayle Reaver. I don't know why he got such a fast Robo actually then. Maybe it wasn't fast at all. Maybe it was crazy, but Jangbi sees what's happening here. He's trying to break out, but there's no way he can bust out here. Yeah, Lurker's already down. And Action, this is awesome. This is awesome, and I think this is actually a really cool idea because the natural there, as you can see, is extremely narrow. It's just like a long, narrow corridor to get out of your base. So it's going to be really, really hard for Jangbi to leave his base with a good lurker contained there. That's actually going to be so difficult. This is wow. This is actually so cool. And well, yeah, there go down the lurkers. And in fact, he can actually spread out a little bit more because, as you can see there, he basically put the hatchery kind of right behind where the wide ramp is, so he can actually get a little bit of a better arc that Jangbi will be running into. Maybe one overload going in here to see what's going on. Jangbi has gone for the support bay for his, or to get some reavers rather. We'll be using those to break out. I think that's a good idea. Of course, I always make reference to the infamous PvZ that Bisu played against Great on Neo Medusa, where this exact same thing happened. And Bisu, for whatever reason, decided not to go for Reavers. He just like massed gateway units and kept trying to bust it down, but it didn't work. And it looks like the Corsair is going to do a nice job here. This is actually the one danger with this kind of strategy. These mass Corsairs are going to be able to do a lot of damage. As you can see, there's not that many Hydras for Action. He's made a few of them to Lurkers and kind of just leaving them at the front there, or using them to support the contain. So actually, Action is down to 64 of 37 supply here. This is not so good for Action. And the Reaver's already coming out. Action just can't make any more units, but he can just make more Sunkens though, which would be quite funny. Looks like Reaver's out. He's going to have to wait for an Observer though to take down the Lurkers. But that Reaver is going to be really, really useful in breaking this. But wow, that is a pretty sick contain already. Even with a Reaver there, that's just going to take a lot of time for him to break out. But you know, doing a good job with the Corsairs. And although I think, well, hopefully Action's defended now. Oh, are we going to have a Lurker drop in the back? Is it? Or is he just scouting? Is that like a fake? It could be a fake, like, it could be a fake and, or sorry, it could be a scout and or a fake. A double robo from Jangbi that gets spotted. What the heck? Jangbi going for 2 robotics facility Reavers here. Wow, going all out with the Reavers. But I was thinking was maybe Action just sent an empty overlord there to scare Jangbi into pulling all his probes and losing mining time. I mean, the mining time lost from pulling all your probes from the natural for a few seconds is definitely at least 100 minerals. And we have seen like a lot of very cool lurker drop play recently from Zerg, so definitely something to be aware of as a Protoss. And it looks like a lot of Scourge out now, getting ready to try and snipe this shuttle. Looks like 2 Reavers at the front, going to start breaking down some Lurkers. Reavers doing a ton of damage there, of course. They do 2-shot Lurkers. It looks like, oh, well supported by the Templars, but actually the shuttle rather gets sniped. I actually didn't even see how that happened. Looks like 2 Scourge actually came from the bottom. By the way, if you look at the minimap, Action's been doing a good job of just keeping some units spread out, you know, on the path in between Jangbi's natural and his own third, just to make sure no sneaky shuttles do get out. Looks like he's just going to try and snipe one of these Reavers. The Reaver's doing so much damage, but he does get one of the Reavers. Loses like 8 or 9 Hydras though. That is quite an expensive trade for Action. But I mean, Hydras overall they're cheap. You know, the Reavers are really the crucial units here in breaking this containment. It looks like, oh, not really able to take down the second Reaver, but he is buying a lot of time. The question is, like, how is his economy doing back home? We haven't seen a shot of Action's main base in a while here. I just don't know how good his overall, like, you know, this contain looks nice, but can he continue to support this? Jangbi is almost double his supply now. He's at 126-ish, I guess, supply, against just 69. For Action, Jangbi has a huge supply lead now. So as soon as he breaks this contain, Action would be in a lot of trouble. Action needs this contain to work. But look at this, the 2 Robos pumping Reavers for Jangbi. This is so interesting from both players, and this is just so hard for Action. Reavers are just so good against all Zerg ground units, and they have all the Dragoons and High Templar supporting. I mean, just look at that. You know, the narrowness of that path is working both ways now. Now every time Action tries to snipe a Reaver, he just gets demolished by Dragoons and Storms, but plenty of Lurkers there to fall back to, although he's lost most of the Sunkens now, and that's going to make the Dragoons pretty good against the Lurkers. Jangbi, is he going to go, or is he going to be a little bit more patient? A ton of Scourge moving in. Action has made so many Scourge here. But this is looking increasingly like it's not going to go Action's way, although he is going to get a decent number of scourge hits on the Corsairs. Looks like 2 Corsairs do remain, but that doesn't really matter anymore. The crucial thing is that the Reavers remain. Oh, looks like 1 Reaver wanders into range of a Sunken. Action just adding more and more creep colonies in the back here, just trying to hold on to this contain. But if you look at his drone saturation, it's not that good. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. He was overcommitted to that contain. It did not work out, and now he's screwed. The double robo play of Jangbi, really, look at that, 4 Reavers just taking down everything here. Jangbi owning it up. A very nice, calm response from Jangbi. It's another thing to keep in mind. It's so easy to panic in these situations as Protoss. You're just like, oh my god, there's a hatchery outside of my base. Just quick, send everything, attack. Note, that is not the correct way to go. This kind of slow but steady, very careful Reaver push has worked beautifully. Although it looks like now Hydra's moving in, going to snipe 2 Reavers, 3 Reavers immediately. But it doesn't matter. Now the rest of the Protoss ground army comes in. The contain has been broken. A few lurkers remaining, but so many Dragoons. Look at how many Dragoons there are. And GG from Action. Action, as soon as he loses the contain, does not even wait for the counterattack. He knows he is dead. And Jangbi, matter-of-factly, just charges out of the booth. Oh, man. Such an interesting strategy from Action. But an excellent response from Jangbi. Wow. And suddenly, Khan is up 2-0 against the current leader in Pro League. Although, guys, we still have Flash, we still have stats, so it is not over yet. It is not over yet for KT, but things are looking up for Khan fans already. Also, let's see what related videos we get for this one. Honestly, they are related videos at the end, right? Oh, wait, why is this one normal? Oh, well, that's a bit disappointing. Anyway.